Hi everyone.
Hi.
Welcome to another Married to Reselling video. Welcome to the channel if you're new here, and if you've been around a little while. This video is something that we've been talking about for a little while. In fact, it was just a little over a month ago that we asked for questions. So questions about reselling, questions about anything that you liked relating to us and our business. What we've done is we've compiled 30 of the best questions that we were asked, and earlier on I printed them out, cut them up and put them in some sort of order so that hopefully this video flows quite nicely. So thanks to everyone that chipped in on that video with a comment, and also other videos with comments and questions. There's questions about all sorts of aspects of reselling, so if you asked us a question on our channel within the last sort of 5 to 6 weeks, then there's every chance that we're going to answer that question today, and also a few from a little bit further back as well.
So we're a bit chilled today. We're sitting in the lounge, got drinks, cheers. And we are chilled out and ready to go answering these questions. We haven't really discussed the answers, like this isn't sort of scripted replies. Shall I read out the first one?
Yes.
So Leo has asked, do you not go to boot sales? I've looked through your videos and can't seem to find any boot sale videos, just mainly charity shop videos. That is right.
It's a really good observation, really good question.
Yes.
About why we don't do that.
We sort of have a love-hate relationship with boot sales. When we first got into reselling, we did go to a boot sale in particular, and we loved it. It was a great one. It was near us. It was like 10 minutes in the car, wasn't it? And it started at 10. I mean, come on, perfect timing. And it was on a Sunday, and we loved it. And they didn't let traders in, so it was literally people clearing out their garages, clearing out their lofts, selling off stuff. And it wasn't massive, but it was a good one, and we used to see Nick and Andrea there sometimes because we live quite close to them. And it stopped. They had a year off, which we were really sort of gutted about, weren't we? Because we actually did sell there as well.
Yeah.
We have sold there.
We did.
And then, yeah, so they had a year off, and then they were due to come back, and then obviously stuff in life happened and everywhere's been shut for 2 years. I don't know if it's going to be opening this year. It'd be good if it did, but that was our main one. We have been to others. There's a couple of others in the area, but we're not early risers, so we're not ones for standing in the dark queuing to get into a car boot, are we?
Yeah, and really when we were more active at the boot sales, like Faye was just saying about our local one, we didn't have the channel, so we weren't, documenting those. There's a couple of videos that mentioned that we'd been and this is what we got, but no real footage of walking around boot sales. So it's not that we don't like boot sales, or it's not that we don't source from boot sales, but since the thing happened, it's definitely been sort of lower on our radar because we just found other ways of sourcing, and we've continued with many of those. Really, that's probably the main reason. We have dabbled in them. So last year we did go to one. We might have documented a bit of that because it was. And I found the ashes sealed at one of them that we. Yeah,
that was it. Because we went because I said, "Look, come on, let's go to a boot sale. I feel like it's an itch I've got to scratch because it's been so long." And we went to one. I think it started at 8:30, and we were in and left by 9.
Yeah, because I got some golf clubs which are still in the barn. I haven't done anything with them. Yeah. Because I was going to keep them, still haven't decided.
No, have you played golf since?
No.
Even our friend came round who's really into golf. You didn't even get him out, did you?
No.
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 They're coming round on Saturday.
I forgot I had them. Yeah, so I have to dig them out.
Yeah. So, would you believe though, there is a car boot sale less than 3 minutes drive from our front door, and we have never been. Never ever been.
And at the recent reseller meetup in Hitchin, we were told that it's actually a pretty good boot sale, so maybe we should get along. So
it's an early start one though.
Yeah, it is.
We're fair weather boot. If we're going to go to a boot sale, it's got to be the right weather. We wouldn't go in the rain and the cold, would we?
Yeah, I would say in general, thinking about it from a purely sourcing point of view, for me and for us and for the sort of things that we kind of like to sell and want to sell, it's lower down on the priority. So for example, we've just bought 3 pallets of returned clothes, 80% of them or whatever with brand new with tags. You're just not going to pick up 3 pallets of brand new with tags clothes at a boot sale. So, you know, that's it. I like to buy games and DVDs, just much more of an abundance of that in a high street where you can go around 10 charity shops than go around a boot sale. It's just my opinion. All boot sales are different, obviously, and we haven't been to all boot sales and won't have been to your boot sale.
We did go to the boot sale at Redbourne on the M1 and got recognised. Someone messaged us, didn't they, afterwards and said, "Were you at the boot sale today? We saw you." When we were allowed out the first summer-ish, when Boris let us out, we did go to a boot sale. I don't even think we did that great. If our favourite boot sale came back this year, we'd probably go most weekends.
Yes, yeah, for sure. You'll see more boot sale videos on this channel over the next 6 months, that is for sure. Yeah, because we haven't got much to improve on.
No, and we are definitely going to go to the one that's 3 minutes from our door. Just got to pick a good day and where we haven't gone to bed late the night before, because it's like a 6 o'clock start. Oh, I'm dreading it already.
So the next question, Leanne. Leanne asked, can you do a compilation of the prices you managed to achieve on Amazon sales, as you often quote high prices when scanning games, etc., and that you might not achieve that, and it'd be interesting to see some results. So good news, Leanne, you've probably already watched the video. So I did that video around about 4 weeks ago, and I did do it off the back of your question. And I think I messaged you on Instagram as well to say I've done it, take a look. So hopefully you enjoyed that video. So we do say in our videos that this is what it's currently selling for on Amazon, and this is what we're going to kind of list it for, but it might not be the price that it sells for, because Amazon is the pricing is very volatile. Everyone's reprices are pinging away, prices are going up and down all the time. So I do like to say when we're doing haul videos that this is the current price on Amazon. Doesn't mean to say what we're going to sell it for, because honestly things could sell for half the price, they could sell for twice the price. You just don't know. Depends where the demand is at the time and what the supply is like. A
lot can happen between us scanning the barcode in the shop or in the video that you see to it actually arriving at Amazon. I mean, anything can happen. Maybe you'll do another one sort of in a couple of months. It's always good to sort of, people really enjoyed the video.
If you haven't seen that video, take a look.
Beth has said, how do you know how to price an item when you cannot find a similar one? Good question. If you can't find a similar one and you've literally researched and researched and researched, and I mean by looking at active listings on eBay, sold listings on eBay, active listings on Etsy. WorthPoint is a website that we actually are members of. I can't remember how much it costs. And it's quite interesting for sort of vintage items, collectibles, glassware, that sort of thing. You pay an annual fee and you can look at auctions and see what things are sold for. Not eBay auctions, so WorthPoint based auctions. I don't really know too much about it, but I have used it in the past to get an idea. But there are things we've listed where we have no clue what they're worth. There was I can't remember what it was called. It was that whiskey attachment. It was really heavy.
Nip measure.
Yes. So it was in just a.
I just said nip.
Nip. It was it was in an auction job lot. I can't even remember what. It was probably like homeware, and it looked old, and I had no idea what it was. I managed to figure out it was a whiskey nip measurer, and the only thing I could find about it was a museum in New Zealand. So I was like, okay, that must mean it's like really rare and going to be really expensive.
If it's in a museum.
Yeah, woo. So I think I priced it £100 and kind of thinking, wow, wouldn't that be amazing if it sold at £100? What if it's worth £10,000? But no, it was for sale for £100 for quite a while, and I kept reducing the price and no one was interested. So we put it on a 99p auction and it sold for 99p.
Plus postage.
Plus postage, yeah. So there are things where glass items, ornamental items, where we have gone high, and I see people do it on Instagram. They'll pick up a vintage item of clothing maybe and say, wow, I'd pick this up, do you know what it's worth? Even with like designer stuff, if you don't know, then go high, try, but always keep an eye on the price and the time you've had it listed, and just reduce slowly, and it will find its price.
Couple other things to mention. Facebook groups are brilliant for specialist subjects. Whatever that niche is, it could be trading cards, it could be glass, it could be, you'll find it could be military, it could be anything. So you'll find a Facebook group for that. Sneak in there and just ask a question, pop it on, make sure if you're putting photos on, put really good photos on, because there's nothing more that annoys the experts in those groups than a post with bad photos. You know, they want to help, but you've got to sort of, you know, do as much as you can so that they can help you. So really good photos on white backgrounds, if there's any inscriptions, anything like that, make sure you focus on those and ask the question, and you will often get an abundance of help. Another place to look is Terapeak. So Terapeak is you can access through eBay. It's free if you have a subscription on eBay. What Terapeak does is it actually looks further back into the past than a 90-day search will on eBay. So when you look something up on eBay and you click sold, it's only showing you the last 90 days. If you use Terapeak and do that same search, it will take you back definitely up to a year. I think it might be a bit long, maybe longer, maybe it's a year, yeah. So that's worth it. And then the other thing I'd say as well, which I think a lot of people miss, is Google. And it sounds really silly, but in Facebook groups, in eBay Facebook groups, see a lot of people saying, I've looked this up on eBay, I can't find it, does anyone know what it's worth? And I just Google it and it's just right there and it could be on a Board Game Geek website, it could be eBay.ie or ebay.com, or, you know, so don't forget to use Google. I know it sounds like really basic, but I think there are a lot of people that just, you know, we all do it, just kind of slips your mind, just so zoned in on looking for stuff on eBay. Google will often help you as well, particularly if you've got a product identifier like a barcode or something.
Yeah, and don't forget with Google, you can also search by an image. So with an item of clothing, even if I know it's a Marks and Spencer's dress, for example, I might want to know exactly about that Marks and Spencer's dress. So I'll put it on my mannequin and I'll take a picture using the Google app, Google Lens, and it will search for my picture. And the amount of times I've had an outfit or a top or a dress on a mannequin and it's found that exact item on the Marks and Spencer's website, and I've been able to get more information about how they've described the outfit and make my listing better than my competitors. That's a really good way to do it as well.
One last one is Instagram. If you have an Instagram page, like a reselling page or whatever, and you follow resellers and they follow you back, you can always pop up on a story, does anyone know anything about what this might be, how much I should price this at? Pop it as a question, put some hashtags in there as well. If you're doing it as a post, if you're doing it as a story, you can put one hashtag in, I think. And that's another resource. There's loads and loads of resources that you can try and use. The next question is from Sally's Oriflame and Viva MK, and they ask, do you do buy now or offers? And I think you maybe mean buy now or auctions, possibly. So we do, the majority of our listings are buy it now. We do put best offer on really all of our listings over kind of £10-12, something like that. We don't tend to bother with offers for cheaper stuff. So yeah, we have best offer available for the majority of our stuff, and we send offers as well to customers whenever they're available to send. We're like on it all day long, sending offers.
Yeah, literally, I could be, I don't know, waiting for some pasta to boil, and I'd be like, oh, let's just see if I've got any offers to send. I could be sitting on a bus, waiting in the queue at the post office, like anything. You just have a quick look, send offers. And like today, I went out for lunch with my friend. She popped to the loo. I thought, oh, I'll just quickly see if there's any offers to send. Like it took me 2 minutes.
And yeah, I think really, someone actually posted the question, I think it was on Instagram, do you let them save up or do you send them immediately? And I just don't see the value in letting them save up. Catch the people while they're online, while they're interested, before they go off, watch a few things and then buy something else the next day. You know, get that offer out to them as quickly as you can, I would say.
Yeah, because I've been doing that on Vinted, because we've been cross-listing a lot to Vinted and Depop. with these pallet clothes that we've got, and I get a notification on Vinted when someone's favorited an item, and I can go in and straight away send them an offer. And I've been trying to do that so I catch them while they're still interested in my item and see if I can get a sale.
And then I think where I think you're asking about auctions, we only really use auctions for a couple of scenarios. One of them is clearance, which we've kind of done a whole host of in the last few months, and we've sort of got to the point where the stuff that we've got left is about 70 or 80 items we're just going to bundle up. We've stopped all our 99p auctions now. They'll come back round again, as painful as it is. Faye mentioned in a couple of videos ago how she's sort of had it. We do need a break from doing that, but you know, it's going to come back round again, particularly because we've got all these clothes in 6 months' time. You know, we're going to be looking to get rid of a bunch of that. Maybe we'll just bundle it, but we'll use auctions for that. We'll start at 99p plus post. We add a little bit onto postage to take into consideration eBay fees and the transaction fee. So we charge like £3.75 postage for a small parcel and £1.95 postage for a large letter size. And the other thing we might do an auction for is things that we can't value.
Yeah.
So if we've bought like...
Oh, I had that spoon. I had a spoon in an auction bag and it looked old. And I think I worked it out, it was Russian. So I decided to put it on an auction, thinking I was going to get thousands. I think it went for £12.50.
Yeah, so sometimes we'll just go, I'll start it at 20 quid and hope for the best. We don't usually start stuff that high. Maybe we start it at cost, something like that. But that's the other time we use auctions.
And that's just our way. Other resellers will often run like £5 auctions.
There's some resellers that only do auction,
yeah.
And there's some resellers that only do buy it now, and we're 95% buy it now and 5% auction.
Yeah. Next up, we have a question from Philip. He's asked, how did you start on Amazon and how did you both get into reselling? Well, I think we should do the how did you get into reselling first?
Yeah.
So, I hated having a job, basically. I didn't like working for anyone. And I couldn't really sort of stick at anything for too long. I had a really great job for a long time, but got made redundant. And after a while, I just sort of kept saying to Simon, we need to do something, just the two of us, because we love to travel, we love to go here, there and everywhere, and you just can't do that when you've got a full-time job. Not as much as we wanted to do anyway. So we got married, and the day after we got married in Portugal. We were sitting around the pool and we were talking about life, and we sort of just decided there and then that we were going to quit our jobs and do our own business. That was in September, and by the time June came round, we were both full-time self-employed, weren't we? And we were doing this and that, and I found Nick and Andrea's videos, and I'd been saying to Simon, come on, let's have a go at reselling, especially Amazon, because we'll come to that bit in a minute, but Simon had experience selling on Amazon. So he was like, no, I never want to sell on Amazon ever again. I don't want anything to do with Amazon. Just come to a car boot sale with me or a charity shop with me. So we sort of started dabbling and kind of loved it, didn't we?
Yeah. As Faye said, yeah, we quit our jobs. We didn't really know. We had a plan, but it wasn't, at that time, it wasn't reselling, actually. So we were doing like freelance work.
And we had to do something because I was going to quit my job in the summer. Simon was going to quit first in January. No, in the spring. But actually I quit at the end of January because I just couldn't take the crappy job I had anymore.
Yeah.
So I just walked out. I didn't even give notice, did I?
No. We were doing freelance work. We were doing social media stuff. We were doing sort of content writing and stuff. So we were doing a kind of anything really, and then we were also doing like actual jobs. So Faye had a job where you had to smell things.
When I was 18, in a laboratory near me, it was like a farming centre. You had to. I called it sniffing. So basically, you had to sniff things that came out of funnels, but they were invisible kind of gases. It sounds really dangerous, but it's not.
It's all to do with like waste management and kind of environmental stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah. And anyway, when we were self-employed, we didn't have any money behind us. By the way, we had to hit the ground running and earn money. And the sniffing job just appeared. Like 15 years after I'd done it the first time, and I was like, come on, let's go and see if we can be sniffers.
And basically you had these booths, there was like 6 booths in a cube, and you had 2 funnels in front of you, and a beep would go, and you had to smell both tubes, and then you had to input into a computer where the smell was coming from, and whether you were sure it was coming from that. Like
like A or B, funnel
sure,
A or funnel B.
Yeah, and then how sure you were, which was, I think, quite important. And so like, yeah, it definitely is, or I think it is, or I'm not really sure. You could take your iPad, have earphones in, or an earphone in, and just watch films or read a book or whatever you wanted. You were just waiting for a beep, which came around like once a minute, once every couple of minutes. Sniff the tube, input the thing,
wait for the next beep.
And wait for the next beep.
It's only like 2 hours as well. It wasn't long, was it? And
Yeah.
it was just down the road.
So we did that, and I mean, how do I explain exactly what happened? Well, basically, they got fired.
No, you had to leave.
It was all to do with like they needed so many people running these tests, doing these tests at the same time, and it was all to do with like, you know, is the majority getting the same results? And basically, what was happening was Faye was absolutely rubbish at it, and I was absolutely amazing at it. So just to explain that, Faye was not getting anywhere near, so she was kind of like taking a guess and probably saying, yeah, I'm quite sure. So her results were coming out that basically like, no. And I was like acing it and saying, I'm definitely sure.
And getting it right every time.
And they'd never seen anything like it. So she couldn't explain it. She was saying I had like the nose of a dog. Like, this is a scientist saying, I don't know how you're doing it, but you are absolutely acing this thing like no one has ever done before.
He's never stopped talking about his superior nose.
I bring this up quite a lot.
Yeah.
Anyway, so in effect, we both got let go because she was rubbish and I was too good.
You got let go first, and I carried on because I didn't know that I was so rubbish. And I was sitting there one day, and they said, right, we're going to have to start this whole session again because someone's skewing the figures. Can you please concentrate and accurately sort of say which one you think the smell's coming? And I thought, well, it's not me because I'm telling them what I can smell or can't smell, like, seriously. And I thought, hang on, everyone's different here. Surely they want to know if you can smell it or not. So I just carried on, and then they came in about 2 hours later and said, yeah, Faye, it's you. We're going to have to ask you to leave because you've got...
It's like the easiest job in the world. We both failed one way or another.
So yeah, I came home early, didn't I? You were like, what are you doing? I was like, yeah, I got fired.
So back onto topic. So I was really resistant about getting back involved with Amazon because I'd worked for a company where I was heading up the Amazon business and the eBay business, and we were importing. We were also selling on Groupon, Voucher, Living Social, all those voucher companies that popped up in that like boom, and we were really, really flying high.
I worked for you for a bit, didn't I? Just help packing. It's like you were doing bundles and stuff at Christmases. I was helping with that.
Yeah, so we were like doing confectionery and grocery bundles. We were doing electronics from China, fairy lights and headphones, Bluetooth headphones, and all the rest of it, like in-ear headphones and cans and everything in between. And we were also doing candles, Parks candles, and all sorts of stuff.
And toys and games.
Yeah,
gadget things.
And you know, like when you're that long in a job where you're at Amazon's mercy or eBay's mercy or whatever, and you know, we had all the same problems that every Amazon seller has, accounts getting shut down temporarily or whatever. You know, when you're working for a business where you've hired 30 temps that day or for the next day, and then your Amazon account's closed because of some stupid glitch, it's all very stressful. Now, I didn't really take on that stress too much. It was my boss, but you know, I just never wanted to be in that position.
Yeah, because my parents, your parents, they'd been saying for years, why don't you leave and do what you're doing as a job yourself at Faye? And you were like, no, because we sort of only saw that option as sort of importing or just buying in bulk and having to have so much money to start.
I had $250,000 credit with China, you know. So that was my buying power that I had, in my job. Oh, I didn't want that for us.
No.
Like, it sounds great, but honestly, it's quick.
No, but
It comes with problems.
it does. But we kind of then learn, and well, I sort of learned first, and was sort of trying to say to Simon, look, let's just try reselling. We don't have to be spending 1,000, 10,000, 50,000 pounds with China. We can go to a charity shop and spend £10 on things and sell it. And at first, we did what everyone says: go around the house, pick up things that you don't want anymore, that you want to sell, and try and sell them. And I did it with like a fern cotton set of bubble bath that someone had bought me for Christmas.
Oh, I'll probably have to edit that out in case they're watching.
No, we don't see those people anymore. There's some old windscreen wipers, but brand new in their packet in our garage that the previous people that lived there had left.
Oh,
we
yeah.
sold those.
Yeah.
There was all sorts of things, and we just really got into it.
And one of the earliest charity shop memories that I've got was quite a local one to us. We walked in and we picked up a DVD for £1.
Oh yeah.
And we put it on Amazon for £90, and it sold for £90, and it was a Kings and Queens of England DVD.
Cartoon one, wasn't it?
I
think it was.
No idea what was so special about it, but that was the going rate for it. We listed it, and it sold within a week, and we were like, okay, we'll have some of that, and that's how we really got started.
Yeah, so we still carried on doing all the other stuff that we were doing. We had social media clients and all sorts of things going on, but we kind of enjoyed the reselling more, and
we slowly sort of transitioned into.
So it suited us better, and we've kind of never looked back, have we? It kind of really started from there and just snowballed into what it's become today. I mean, we would both do a lot of Amazon together, but it's kind of because we thought we didn't consider eBay to be a good platform for reselling, so we were both working on Amazon. And then as we would source more and more, we knew we were seeing things that we would think, well, that's not suitable for Amazon, that's perfect for eBay. So I kind of took the reins of eBay, and you carried on with Amazon, and it's kind of just stuck that way, isn't it? Because another thing as well that we didn't realise, I think, when I was sort of trying to persuade Simon into dabbling in reselling, was about selling used items on Amazon.
I'd sold so many toys and games and boys' toys, remote control helicopters and all that back in the day, which we were buying from like UK suppliers and distributors. So we had accounts with every supplier and distributor you can think of. If you can name them, we had an account with them. And so used items just never came up on our radar back then. And then, yeah, as Faye said, when we started ourselves, we were like, oh, we can sell used jigsaws, and we can sell used DVDs even, or used books. I mean, books is a huge one. In the early days, we focused quite heavily on books, I would say, with our Amazon. Certainly, thinking back to when we were sourcing in charity shops 3-4 years ago, we were scanning a lot of books.
We'd spend more time on the books than we do now.
Yeah, way more time. I barely, 9 times out of 10, I won't even look at books in charity shops now, and that's not because they're not a good opportunity. If you're new, thinking about starting reselling, particularly if you're thinking about starting reselling on Amazon, we're going to talk about that in a little while, but yeah, books would be the place to start. The next question comes up from Fashion Chic, who asks, it would be nice to hear, how did you start with Amazon FBA and all of your experience? So we've just kind of touched on quite a bit of it actually. That's why I've put these two questions together. But in terms of Amazon FBA, when I started selling on Amazon way back when, working for someone else, there was no such thing as Amazon FBA in the UK. I was discovering it from the start, and it's been like that ever since. Anything that Amazon have introduced, we've always sort of been there for the beginning of it. Amazon FBA, in terms of fulfilled by Amazon, sending stock to Amazon and let them ship it for you, it isn't the only option when you're selling on Amazon. You can ship it yourself as well. It's all about automation, it's all about saving time, saving money. A lot of people think Amazon FBA is expensive. We're going to touch on Amazon a little bit later on in the video, but it's really a good option. That means that you can still be earning money while you're on holiday.
Or in another job.
You don't have to be shipping stuff yourself to customers. You know, you've already done all of that work, sent it off to Amazon. So how I got started, well, it was just kind of a no-brainer really with FBA. that is really what you want to do. There's reasons why you wouldn't use it, but we'll talk about those later.
I think it's also good if you live like in a flat or a really small house, or you've got a big family, loads of kids. You don't have to store the stuff in your house or garage or whatever. You just get it in, sort it, send it, it's gone.
You can also use prep centres. So you can, if you're buying stock wholesale, you can send it to a prep centre and have them label it and ship it to Amazon for you, so you don't have to touch the product.
Okay, we've got 3 questions here from different people, all kind of asking a similar question. So, Chic Vintage Gifts, guys, who do you use to ship post? Flash Tiger says, do you do international shipping? If so, how much do you charge? And One Small Step has said, when you sell GSP, do you write the ref number on the outside of the packet or the inside, please? We do international shipping, but we do it through the global shipping program on eBay. It's all set up in eBay. You can click the GSP box on your listing, so whether you want to sell via GSP or not. So the global shipping program is, I've listed a dress for sale in the UK, and someone in America is looking on eBay and they see the dress that I'm selling and they want it. So they pay to have it sent to them wherever they are in the world, and it's my responsibility to basically get it to the global shipping centre, which is in Lichfield in the UK, and it's then sent from the global shipping centre to their address wherever they've wanted it sent, and then I don't have to think about it anymore. Sometimes they repackage it as well at the global shipping centre. So if you put it in a massive box with loads of bubble wrap, they might try and make it smaller to save on postage, but once it's got there, it's not our problem anymore.
Once it's at that shipping centre, it's basically eBay's responsibility. So they handle all customs charges, tax in terms of like shipping.
What they do as well is, if it arrives damaged, if you've like packed it to within an inch of its life, there's still a chance it could get broken if it's flying to the other side of the world. And if that happens, if a customer says, oh, you sent me this but it broke, don't panic, don't refund them, just contact eBay or get them to contact eBay.
Yeah, ask them to contact eBay and eBay will cover the cost.
Yeah, you won't be out of pocket.
Very straightforward. I mean, a lot of people do their own international postage, and that's fine, and it's a lot cheaper for the customer. GSP is not cheap for the customer. So if you're in a very, very competitive market, then you're going to be wanting to do international postage yourself and probably not using GSP.
We still get messages from people saying, hi, I'm in the US or I'm in Australia and your shipping charges are too expensive, can you do it any cheaper? And we just say, sorry, we go through GSP, that's it. We don't ever talk to them about coming away from GSP and selling it internationally ourselves. We're not interested in that.
I try to put weights and measurements in some listings because for me it's easier, because I'm doing like games and stuff like that, so it's kind of easy. But it doesn't always benefit the customer if you do that. They can actually be paying more than if you haven't got the weights and measures in and eBay have a guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends how you look at that, because obviously you're not helping eBay, and we want to support eBay because that is how we make our money. The better eBay are doing, the better we'll do. But for the customer, often just having no weight and measure in your listing will work out cheaper for them.
And some will say that we probably lose out on international sales because we don't do our own international postage, but to be honest, we prefer it that way, because if we were in charge of sending stuff to China, Canada, South America, Australia, wherever, and stuff got broken, stuff got lost, it's just hassle, and we would just rather not have that hassle. So we're quite happy using GSP. And One Small Step said, do you write the reference number on the outside of the packet or the inside, please? It's automatically comes up on the address, doesn't it? So it'll be Global Shipping Centre, blah, 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 Lichfield. But halfway through, in brackets, it has the GSP number. So that automatically comes out on there. If you're handwriting it out, then put the code on there, but double check you've written it correctly.
Yeah, and it goes, so always on the outside.
Who do we use to ship? We use Royal Mail and UPS. We don't use Hermes. That's our personal choice. We don't enjoy using Hermes. We like to go to the post office. Simon's got a great relationship with the ladies at the post office. There's a bit of banter with them, and we've just found another drop-off point near us.
Yeah, we have our UPS account hooked up to our eBay account, so we don't use Packlink. I would never use Packlink. We have used them, I'll never use them again. I won't go into that now. But if you're on the fence about Packlink, my advice is just go direct to the shipper. So we have the marketplace hookup with UPS, so I can just go on it. If there's anything that needs shipping UPS, I just go onto the UPS website, go to the marketplace orders. I can see all the orders that are unshipped on eBay. It's constantly talking. Just pick the order I want to ship with UPS, create the label there. When I create the label, it then ships it on eBay. Simple.
Depop, you can go through using their postage option, and that is Hermes, or you can choose to arrange it yourself. I choose to arrange it ourselves, and I do free post on Depop. I always send Royal Mail or UPS depending on what they've bought. Vinted, there's a selection of carriers that you need to choose who you want to use because the buyer pays postage. I set it to UPS and Royal Mail only because they're the ones I want to use. And the amount of people that message and say, why is the postage so expensive? Will you send Hermes? And I just say, no, I'm not using Hermes.
No.
And don't let people try and talk you into using a different carrier than who you want to use, because we haven't had great experience with Hermes. I mean, we have great experience with the Hermes guy who delivers our parcels. He's really good around here. There are so many carriers you can use. Accidentally, I mentioned it on a video the other day. Vinted did an update on their app and added Yodel, and everyone automatically had Yodel ticked on their preferences for a carrier. And I didn't know this because they didn't notify us sellers till 24 hours after they'd done it. And someone purchased from us, and lo and behold, it was Yodel. Don't let people kind of talk you into using who they want you to use. Just use who you want.
So the next question comes from Bessie Boop. Hi, can I ask what app you use to remove the background on your photos? Thanks. We actually use two. I use one and Faye uses a different one. Faye also uses the one I use, but I don't use the one Faye uses.
But the one you use isn't an app, is it?
No, it's not. Good point. So Faye uses Photo Room, which is an app.
Paid for app.
It's a paid for app. You can get a free version. It leaves the watermark in at the bottom, which you can crop out. Mm-hmm. But do you get a certain amount a day or something like that?
I didn't even bother. I just signed up for the paid version straight away.
Yeah, so Photo Room is very, very, very good. And I use remove.bg, which is desktop based. So you just drag and drop or upload your image and it'll put it on a white background, or you can choose, they've got a whole load of other backgrounds that you can put it on, so you can have it on like, a wooden plank or in front of a forest or whatever you want. There's all sorts. The one I use, only you do one picture at a time. The sort of touch-up tool is okay, but we were talking about it earlier actually. It only lets you use like a big circle to remove or
restore.
It's okay, it's fine for what I use it for. But the one Faye uses, Photo Room, you can do multiple at a time, can't you?
Yeah, so you can choose multiple pictures at a time, and it's actually just been updated in the last couple of weeks to batch. So you click the batch option and you choose from your photo albums, photo library, which ones you want to do, up to a maximum of 50. So if I go through taking pictures, say I've got 10 items of clothing, 6 images say per item, I will upload them all and it'll cut them out, and I'll sort of watch it while it does it, and if I need to touch one up, I'll just tap it and I'll just edit it myself. But it is brilliant. I love it and I use it all the time.
Yeah, I've spoken to, in fact, we've had that question quite a lot over on Instagram as well. And like people sort of say, so people that use Photoshop are kind of like, that if only these sort of apps were available 10 years ago, would save you years of your life as a graphic designer.
You can use Canva as well. We have a paid for version of Canva. Canva is brilliant. Not so great for cutting out backgrounds. You can do it. I haven't used it for a while. Hopefully it's improved. It was a bit clunky. Just going off topic a little bit, but if I've got 5 bars of soap for sale, I'll take a picture of 1 bar of soap, cut it out and upload it to Canva, and then reproduce that image 5 times, and so it looks like I've got 5 for sale. And I use Canva all the time for stuff like that.
See, I'm old school. I just use Paint for that.
When we were
the funny thing is that I can't use Canva and you can't really use Paint, because Paint's almost like too basic for you.
Yeah.
Paint is so simple. Obviously everyone's used Paint.
I love Canva.
We use Canva for our thumbnails for YouTube.
So the next question is from Porky's Discounts. What cross-listing tools do you use, please? Well, we use 2. He uses one, I use one. They're both different. I'll talk about the one I use. It's Zip Sale, ZIP Sale, and it's relatively new, and I use it every single day. I upload, well, I list originally to start with on eBay. I import it into Zip Sale in bulk, and then I choose where I want to send those items to. It could be, it's between Depop, Vinted and Etsy. I can cross list it all or just choose which one I want. As it's relatively new, it still needs work, but it's a lot quicker than me then doing everything from scratch again on Depop and then on Vinted and then on Etsy.
And if you want Faye to make a video about Zip Sale, pop a comment in the comments down below and she will do that for you.
Yes, I actually did show my sister how to do it this week.
For the second time.
For the second time, yeah. Because she didn't write it down the first time. So yeah, I use it every day. It's not as simple as just clicking a button and there you go, it's on Depop or Vinted. It does take maybe a few minutes per item, but so it's much better, and when something sells, it takes it off.
If we make a video about Zip Sale, it'll be a really honest video about how to use it. I've watched videos on YouTube from well-known resellers in the UK, and they do not talk about the issues that exist on Zip Sale because they're ultimately getting a kickback for promoting Zip Sale. They've failed to mention a lot of the issues that exist on Zip Sale, and there are a lot, but it is still well worth your time. For example, just now, Faye had an offer on Vinted. Someone just messaged, will you take £35 for this? Now we've got that same item originally listed from eBay for £45. Now with eBay, if that's sold for £45, we'd lose 10% on the fees. We do promoted listings up to 10%, so we could lose another 10% on marketing. So that's £9 gone, plus then we've got to pay the postage.
Yeah, because it was free post. So
yeah,
we
do free post, so we pay for the postage. So it'd be first class signed for us, because it would be over £20, and we do top rated seller plus on eBay. So our costs for selling that item on eBay would be around about £14 Faye's accepted the offer on Vinted for £35. The buyer pays postage. We'll still make more money on that £35 on Vinted than we would if we sold it on eBay for £45.
Because there's no fees on Vinted.
You know, when that's happening a few times a day, that makes a big difference. Having those extra platforms, those extra marketplaces, that extra presence, you know, it's like opening 3 shops in a town instead of 1. Except without a lot of the overheads, so it's great.
When we say that it has issues as well, I talk to Zip Sale so they know the issues. There are things where I've highlighted a few issues and they're aware of them and they're trying to fix them or improve them, and I'm still talking to them saying, well, this is still like this, is it going to change? So they are aware of it. So I'll just tell you how it works if you want to know how I cross list and how I get around the sort of the bumps in the road that occur at the moment on there. But I will still carry on using it because I think it's great.
And for Amazon cross listing, I use JoeLister, and what JoeLister does is it cross lists your Amazon stock to eBay. So for us it's a paid for service. We pay a fee on every sale. So what happens is all of our stuff that's on Amazon, or the stuff that we choose to cross list on eBay, when something sells on eBay, Amazon FBA will ship the product if it's in FBA, or we'll ship it. We pay a fee for that, and it works pretty well. We have our prices a little bit higher on eBay, which kind of sucks up some of the fee that JoeLister charge us. There are other softwares that do the same thing. One of them is called InkFrog. I think it's possibly a bit more complicated than JoeLister. JoeLister also does Shopify, various other things. And in a couple of scenarios, it's possible that we could have something listed on Amazon originally in FBA. So let's say an old Cluedo board game from the year 1995. We could have that on Amazon, cross-listed to eBay, and then Faye could come along with Zip Sale and cross-list that item to Etsy because we sell vintage stuff on Etsy. So there's a scenario where we've got like 3 steps, and what happens is if it sells on Etsy, Zip Sale will close the eBay listing, and Joe Lister will close the Amazon listing. Crazy.
With Zip Sale, when something sells, it does delist it from the other platforms, pretty much. So there's no chance of you selling your stock twice.
That's the key with cross-listing software. You need that inventory management, because a lot of people cross-list but they do it manually. So, you know, you could be like on holiday and something could sell and you're like, oh no, I need to delist that from Depop and Vinted. Well, you don't have to do that with Zip Sale or Joe Lister. It does it all for you.
What's the one in America, List Perfectly? And we knew about List Perfectly over a year ago. They actually follow us on Instagram, and we've spoken to them and said, when are you going to release List Perfectly over here? We're desperately in need of it. And they said, yeah, maybe, like, we're working on it, yeah, whatever. And then Zip Sale came along, and
our prayers were answered.
One Small Step has asked, please can you send a link for your mannequins? Right, well, I have Monica and I have Phoebe. Monica is a size 12 to 14 and Phoebe is a size 8 to 10, and they were both purchased on eBay. We have a list of links showing you sort of what we use, what we buy regularly, and our mannequins are on that list.
Yeah, so if you click on the like description of the video, there's a link there that takes us through to the Linktree page, which has everything that we use, tools and resources, not just products, but also like other tools. Cross-listing stuff's in there as well. Obviously it's an affiliate link, which means we get a small kickback if you place an order there. Every time I order something, so whether I'm ordering brown tape, poly bags, whatever it is, boxes, I will always shop around and I'll always update our Linktree, so you'll always have the best value, kind of freshest products there. So
our bubble wrap's a good one, isn't it?
Bubble wrap. I'm always finding the best deals on bubble wrap. So yeah, if you're ordering stationery and you kind of want to know like what's the best price without doing the work yourself, that information will be less than 7 days old, because I order stuff every week.
Oh, Zip Sale and Joe Lister on there.
Joe Lister is on there. I think Zip Sale's on there too. Yeah,
Brilliant.
It is.
So if you want to, if you don't want to wait until I've done a video, or maybe Simon will do a Joe Lister video. If you want Simon to do a Joe Lister video, comment under this video.
I've done a Joe Lister video.
If you want him to do another one,
it's an old one,
comment under this video. But the links are there, so you can always access them that way.
I did a Joe Lister video, I'll pop it up here. It's a very old video, and so apologies because it was on an old laptop and it's just awful like presentation, and I was just sort of starting and trying to work out whether it was any good or not. So I was very much on the fence, I think, about it when I sort of signed up, because I was finding these issues. I've ironed out all those issues, like in terms of my understanding of the software, and it's well worth using if you need it, if you sell on Amazon and want to cross list over to eBay. We've really enjoyed answering the questions so far. We're going to have to make this a 2-parter, purely because you guys really delivered some great questions, and we've had a lot of fun talking about them and answering the questions. But it has meant that we're going to need to cut this video off. So stay tuned. Won't be long at all, just a few days to wait for part 2. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're subscribed to the channel, thanks ever so much. And if you're not, why not subscribe? Find out when our videos come out first and ask any questions. Stick a comment in there and we'll answer those as soon as they come in.
Thanks very much for watching, everyone, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.